The message just repeats. Regret, regret, regret. Any idea what it means?
Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth.
And we most definitely regret the Corps just blew up our raggedy-ass fleet! Hoorah!
Well said, Apone.
The name of one of the Covenant's religious leaders.
Hey, wait a second.
Prophet. He's on that carrier and he's calling for help.
Look, we can see a visible mobilization of the armed forces.
Recommend mission abort. Roger, Recon.
There's more Marines than just the 3 in the stage with us.
We're going in. Get tactical, Marines!
Master Chief,
Spray paint all your stuff black and put lots of Picatinny rails on it.
This is the only place on Earth the Covenant decided to land. That prophet is going to tell us why. 30
So
seconds
now we
out.
have our objective.
Whoa.
Ooh, he's menacing.
Well, we are in a flying vehicle in a video game, so...
Got a crash.
So, like, what was that,
Hey.
right?
Wake up.
Shake it off, Marines!
Did she
Tap
play...
that
Look
helmet?
at the crash
She
site.
just
Go,
played
go, go.
glass tapping noise dot wave.
That's great. So yeah, aircraft in a video game, naturally it has to crash. That's the rules. I don't make them.
We just gotta play them.
Yeah.
So again, we have more context. Welcome back to Cooperative
Yeah, welcome
Conversations,
back.
by the way. Hell of an
Yeah.
intro. But we have context of what's going on here. Hey, this is the only place on Earth, this city specifically, that the Covenant landed. And we're gonna try to get onto their carrier and ask why.
I mean, look, we landed, and hey, remember what I said in the last game about like landmarks in the skybox?
What's that? Looks like a big radio antenna?
Some kind of elevator, perhaps?
Oh,
leading
beanstalk?
into space? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, okay.
beanstalk. Definitely. I'm gonna say beanstalk. See
I
how
mean,
it
that's-
disappears in the clouds.
That's what that's a colloquialism for space elevators.
No, it's definitely there's definitely giants up there. So yeah, we're on Earth.
Yeah.
Earth was a big selling point. Like fighting for Earth was a big selling point leading up to the release of this game. All the demos they showed off at various E3s were like the streets of Earth and all that stuff. I
But for
believe
the
that
most part,
cutscene.
it delivers.
I believe that a version of that cutscene we just saw was showed off at an E3.
Yes, it was.
Posters.
Posters?
Although I believe these are like really low res promotion
Oh yeah,
stills.
I cannot read a single thing. These aren't words. These are translucent pixels.
So yeah, let's go fight for Earth. Let's go get that profit.
Now
Find
I
out
do
why they
have-
landed here.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Remember in the last game how there's this whole thing about the Cole Protocol? Of
Yes.
making sure that Covenant never learn the location of Earth. Because if they did, it would be really bad.
Yes.
And they were willing to sacrifice like shipboard AI and these multi-trillion-dollar spacefaring vessels to keep that secret and those coordinates
Yep.
safe. No, the Covenant are just here now. I guess it's fine. Who cares?
So, who cares? We will get a little bit of an explanation for that later. And hey, we're gonna get an explanation for that later. Like,
Amazing. Now, yes, it is part of the story that this is not necessarily an invasion of the human home planet Earth, as far as the Covenant are concerned.
Yep.
But
Here they come.
we don't know
Up
that
high.
yet. Yeah, it's kind of just taken in stride, and no one makes more of a deal than usual that it happened.
even with what we've been told, the implication is this can't be an invasion. They only landed in one place. So,
Yeah, and Hood was like, you know, the fleet that destroyed Reach, etc., 50 times.
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well that's an interesting thing. The Halo 1 manual said something about that.
So yeah, here we are fighting street to street, and already, so yeah, we got, again, more verticality, more interesting. It's not just like a box canyon, right?
Yeah.
You got physics objects that shift around.
I think it's really hard to overstate just how much the physics objects did for Halo's combat, and I'm
Oh,
pretty
yes.
sure it's what people think about when they think about Halo's combat being like, they'll say it's like, oh, it's so chaotic and visceral and like there's so much happening. But if you play Halo 1, it's not. Halo 2 is where you get these like supply crates flying around and all sorts of stuff.
It's you know, the new enemies, the new weapons, the fact that, you know, you've got less health once your shields go down. So like, you know, you can die a lot faster. You gotta keep your head on a swivel, which is why again we're playing on normal and kind of blitzing these encounters.
Yeah, it's gonna be more fun for everybody involved. If a little bit of a breeze there. If we don't replay the same segment 10 times.
I mean, yeah, we already suffered through the back half of Halo 2, and you probably did as well if you're watching this, so you know why.
So again, drones, they're coming in from above, they're swarming.
So now we gotta look up, we gotta watch our heads. Oh hey, check this out. I found a needler. Now I'm holding a needler and an SMG.
Nice.
So remember when you said the needler was the worst weapon in Halo 1?
It's no longer the worst.
And that is by virtue of being able to hold 2 of them.
Even just on its own, it has a faster fire rate, it doesn't spread as much.
Which, you know, it's got some upgrades, but the fact that now you can hold 2 with those upgrades makes it kind of a monster. Here I can demonstrate.
Oh, that's a lot of needles.
That is a lot of needles, and it doesn't take many to explode.
So this is kind of something we had a problem with in Halo 1, which was stand here and fight waves. And it's still what's happening. But they keep throwing different enemies at us, different configurations of enemies, and we're getting more to do. The area is more than just these contextless gray slabs.
Not to mention, the addition of physics objects makes the battlefield a little more dynamic. These crates shifted a few times because of explosions.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier.
Now they're dropping in ships, so...
this is a new sort of thing. This is a Phantom. No more spirits for us.
No,
the Phantom is way deadlier.
It's way deadlier, and it's now the de facto dropship of the Covenant.
It's actually so much deadlier that it would lose 2 of those cannons in subsequent games.
On Heroic, if you're standing out in the open, that thing will just mince you the second it, like, hovers over the courtyard.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it was in Halo 3, I think in Halo 3 as well, they replaced those 2 side belly cannons with just turret platforms.
Yeah.
Which, way better. Because you can kill the people, the grunts or elites operating the turrets.
Well, we'll demonstrate it later, but you can shoot out those turrets now.
Yeah, you can.
Oh hey, more waves.
Yeah, so I've taken over this stationary gun.
My girl's a little big for that courtyard, Sergeant. I see a good LZ on the other side of these buildings. Meet you there. Over.
Now,
Copy that. Someone get a satchel on the gate.
Time for us to leave, and we'll be... Oh!
Oh, no, we have more to do.
Well, what's going on with the gate?
Oh shit, it's hunters.
It's a pair of hunters.
They're way more of a threat this time because the game has... Yeah, their throw-out guns have been switched out for, like, plasma lasers.
And they have a few new melee tricks, which we'll show when we get down the line. You deal with yours, I'll keep mine going.
So like I was saying, the hunter encounters in Halo 2 are a little less trash mob, because they're sprinkled throughout the game a little more sparingly, because there are more enemies for the game, more enemy types for the game to utilize to create more interesting encounters.
The Marines got it!
Oh wow, good work, Marines.
Well, the AI's better. So before we leave, I'm only going to call attention to this the once to point it out for the sake of pointing everything out. So Halo 2 also added a lot more in terms of like hidden content, secret stuff, that kind of thing. So if we go over here, we can get up here. And there's a hidden hallway here.
Oh boy.
And what's this at the end of it?
Looks like a human skull.
It's a human skull. Now, we ain't gonna. We can't even. But in the
Yeah.
original release, you could pick these up and they would activate different effects. This one is the blind skull. It removes your HUD.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them scattered throughout the campaign. We're not going to find them all. We're not going to pick them up. I'm just pointing that out for the sake of pointing it out. That was a new thing that was added. It was a cool Easter egg thing to find them all. Bungie did a lot of work to make their levels more interesting, and then they went the extra mile and added hidden stuff to make them even more interesting.
You remember how I was saying in Halo 1 how there wasn't really anywhere you could just go to, like, see a location that wasn't necessarily useful to the game world, but just added more to the zone?
Well,
Wow, what about that?
Yeah, yeah, they're really pulling out all of the stops this time. So Halo 2, like you said, it definitely
Oh, no,
had
what
its
was
share of
that?
development. Oh,
Jackals with sniper
Lord.
rifles.
Jackals with sniper rifles?
Terrifying.
Now, again, new enemy, well, new weapon for the Covenant to use. Now the Jackals have the sniper variety, which I'm in support
Sergeant, I need
of,
you on that bird.
Yes.
as far as, you know, changing up
My
encounters and
Pelicans are going to start
adding more to
airlifting
the
armor and
game.
reinforcements into the city.
But
They'll need an escort that isn't afraid of a little hostile ground fire.
it is something that I have mixed feelings about because it takes away what was unique about the Covenant arsenal. And again, that was... Bye, Johnson.
Projectiles.
That was that
off he
they
goes.
were all dodgeable projectiles.
Yes. So, there's a trend that starts in this game, and that trend is, coming up with a Covenant equivalent of human gear, trying to, like, create a more balanced parity between the two factions. It leads to some more interesting weapons, but it also leads to some, issues with game balance, as Reckon will demonstrate with the, beam rifle, I believe it's called in this game.
It is the beam rifle.
Awesome. Ow.
And when
So
did
that
you get
was,
one of those?
Alrighty.
Right in the head.
Alright, so this is gonna be, yeah.
Ow, my entire shield on normal.
Yeah. So, on anything above normal, a headshot with this thing, that's death. That's you dying.
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
while I'm in support of the addition of the new weapons for the Covenant, I think it would have been better if they had tried to do more things like the Needler with these unique effects rather than just copy-pasting human weapon designs. Overall, I support the addition, but again, I wish they had done something a little more interesting with them.
Oh, more bugs. So yeah, they're hitting us with a lot out of the, like, we're hitting the ground running.
Bugs with snipers? That's a... because you want to focus on the snipers, but then the bugs will swarm you, and that's bad.
There's tons. So yeah, to finish a thought I started, sorry, before we got cut off by the whiz-bang new technology, Halo 2 had its trouble of, like, you know, tumultuous development issues, but you could already tell, like I mentioned in the previous episode, that they knew what they were doing from the start. They were making a shooter, and that focus shows in almost every aspect of Halo 2.
Yeah, it really does. And like I said in the first episode, I really like this game. I think Halo 2 is very good.
Oh yes. It's certainly fondly remembered for a variety of reasons. And, you know, it does a lot more to earn those fond memories, I feel.
And over here we can find a proper human sniper rifle. And oh look, they've changed the weird oscilloscope for a video screen.
It's rendering stuff twice. Not really,
Oh my
but
God.
they're being tricky about it. But
It's literally
Yeah,
just a projection. It just copies what you're seeing.
But no, it's cool. It still has the night vision. It still looks like the NTW-20.
Yeah.
Which again, real world weapon design standing next to whatever this SMG is.
Yeah. Owie.
I'll point it out. You'll see it as we go forward. This SMG is also kind of interesting. because it fires caseless ammunition, so it doesn't eject shells like other human weapons do.
So the pistol changed. Doesn't have the big front bit. Dual wieldable. I don't have another one to.
There's an
really show
SMG
it
over
off.
here. You can grab.
This one's empty.
Ah, okay.
This one over here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can do. Sounds the same.
Weaker overall, I believe, in terms of individual bullet damage.
Yeah. Not
so-
quite the
and-
hand cannon Halo 1 had.
They kind of nerfed it down. That's because, as I mentioned previously, the battle rifle kind of takes the Halo 1 pistol's place in this game. Of like, you know, accurate, damaging, pick your shots and you get the kill. It does not take much from a battle rifle to put an enemy down.
Also, can't zoom in with it. You can zoom in now with holding any weapon. It's like a visor zoom. But the pistol does not have a scope anymore.
The new advanced helmet has zoom functionality.
Yeah, so just we're in this town, and
I like the little range indicator on the battle rifle scope.
Oh yeah, it's good.
It's also cute because it's optimistic. Well, it's not optimistic. The developers know, but like you're never gonna need to like use that little range calculator thing.
No, it's just a little bit of flavor, which Halo needed.
Yep.
And like already, I think this, obviously this level overall, but I think even just this little courtyard, more geometrically complex than anything we saw in Halo 1.
Absolutely.
Oh
hey, look, we can look at these crates.
Oh yeah.
And we can see what's in them. They're not just like, you know, big single blocks of color.
Yeah. Now we don't have to guess if there are crayons in there.
No.
Replacement transfer case. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but like, sure, you know, there's a military invasion. These probably get airdropped in.
They're probably replacement parts for something. I think this one says ammo, or I don't know what that is.
Well,
but it's got markings like this.
Oh, Hotel Zanzibar. Ooh, exciting.
And it's being attacked.
Glad you could make it. Crash site's on the other side of this hotel, Chief. Covenant are crawling all over it. Follow me.
All right. We've got a new objective. We've moved from location to location, and we're being given new things to do.
Well, like, we kind of got our asses kicked coming in, so now we got to sort of regroup, collect ourselves. Flashlights. Thankfully, the parallax mapping still works even without them.
Yeah, bump mapping.
Bump mapping, sorry, that's the one. Whoa! Teleporter on top of you.
Oh, what's this? Holy shit, another new type of combat encounter.
Oh, there's a dropship coming in, be careful.
So something Halo 2 also added, oh god, is if you have your reticle over an enemy's head, a little dot will appear, or a little cross, really.
Yeah.
And it helps you tell that you're about to get a headshot. It also only works in the given range of a weapon, so you can still get headshots at longer ranges, but if you're firing from too far away, you don't know.
Oh. So here's another big change. So I reckon was mistaken in Halo 1, but the AI can drive in Halo 2.
Yeah. Oh, ghosts also do a new thing when they die.
Oh yeah. Ooh, another new mechanic we can show off before these get shot to pieces.
What's that? Oh my goodness!
The highest concentration of Covenant troops.
I did it too! Holy shit!
I don't think they want you to get on board.
So they added a way for you to hijack enemy vehicles,
the most direct route to the city center.
which kind of solves a problem that Halo 1 had, which is the enemy's in a vehicle and I don't have a weapon that can really handle that, so
So
Also,
yeah,
the ghosts. Yeah.
hijacking, the ghost fires a lot faster. It's more accurate at medium range, a little less accurate at long still. But
It can do this now.
yeah, it has a boost. Can't fire
Can't
while
fire
boosting.
while boosting. Yeah.
There's just
Also,
so much going on.
The front shell of the ghost popped off as it got shot.
Yeah.
So you know, there's damage modeling going on.
Yeah, Halo 2 just added a lot, and all of it was good.
And I'm gonna say it again, same console as the first game.
Oh,
So,
where'd the Warthog go?
you know.
I guess the AI noticed that we were in Ghosts and took it.
And drove off. Hey, do you want a fresh ghost?
Probably.
You should probably take one, yeah. So yeah, and oh hey, look, off in the distance, look, there's that beanstalk.
Oh, yeah. So,
There's a city. Well, there's a matte painting of a city. But
well, it probably looked better on a CRT TV
Oh, hey.
at 480 pixels. Oh,
look,
big
there's
bridge.
a bridge. Yeah. I wonder if we'll go there since it's in the distance.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Wonder if we'll go to that space elevator.
Wonder.
Well,
So yeah, we
anyway.
got a crashed pelican, which you know we saw in the first game. So, but it makes a little more sense here because we, you know, Earth's being invaded and we just saw our stuff get wrecked in that cutscene.
Yeah. So something to note here, obviously we're not like on a Halo yet, so that maybe there's no reason for big open areas, but in general, Halo 2's wide open areas are a little less wide and open, but they use the space a lot better. There's no
They're
more
more
just...
focused.
Yeah, there's no more acres of empty, dead areas. It's...
Plus, they string more areas together, right? Like that width is sort of turned into length. Oh yeah, there's the
Yeah.
Warthog. Check it out.
There's the Warthog,
AI
there's this,
doing its thing.
hover guard tower thing. The Covenant
Oh,
have started
yeah.
dropping in emplacements.
They're setting up defensive, like, pickets.
Wild that we didn't see any of this stuff on the Halo, which they had apparently occupied for years.
Yeah. It's almost like they didn't have time to model all this stuff in the first game.
So yeah,
yeah, we're hitting
the
the
lack
beach.
of massive areas is because Halo 2 is pushing, well, was pushing the original Xbox's hardware a lot more. But again, what they traded for physical area, they made up for in actually having interesting things go on in these levels.
So hey, you know how we saw that shot down Pelican?
Yeah.
These big things kind of look like anti-aircraft guns, don't
They
they?
do, so that's cool.
So it's like, hey, we saw the Pelican and we're like, oh yeah, crashed Pelican, that's Halo. But now we actually know why they were crashed. They're not just there.
And look, we can... There's things to... How did you come? Oh, I'm dead.
Oh dear. Hang on, I'll avenge you.
I don't know where that guy came from. But you can go up
yeah.
to these different places in the environment. Like these, like what's this? Oh, well, it's pretty clearly like a little guard tower. Because this
Yeah.
looks like a defensive installation.
It's like a seawall protecting the city. Also,
Yeah.
yeah, ladders. I think
told you
said
there
in
were
the-
more.
Yeah. Yeah, there were more. They're more infrequent though in this game.
Yeah.
You still get the same goofy walking in place animation though. Stuff's exploding, there's
Did you
battles
just honk at me?
unfolding.
Okay, I'm gonna hop in the Warthog real quick.
Yep, I'll hop in
Just
the back.
because...
Whoops.
Well,
that'll be
I had to get away from that otherwise.
Yeah.
So the Warthog doesn't handle quite as terribly. You can still 0-point turn it, but it doesn't. It's not as splashy. It has a. It got an overtuning on its suspension. It's a little stiffer.
She's a little less prone
The
to
carrier
rolling
just launched a
over.
wave of pods.
Yeah.
They're inbound on
A
your
little
position.
less, I say. Also, I can't say this with any authority, but I'm pretty sure the Warthog works a little harder to land on its feet if it does roll. Which might be a little scripting thing, or it might just be because of the way the physics are tuned, I'm not sure.
Sure. It does. It feels better to drive. It's a little less just goofy and fun. Just look at the sheer walls of plasma fire coming off these phantoms. This is ridiculous.
I'm trying to shoot the turrets off, but the gun's not very accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll also notice the windshield's a little shot up.
Yeah, you have
damage now.
Yeah, every vehicle now can take damage and be destroyed.
Yep.
Although you don't get the health of the vehicle display like you did in the Ghost or Banshee in Halo 1. And I believe that's because... Thanks. I believe that's because the actual health of the vehicle is tied to the driver's shields.
Kind of. So there is health because the more damage you take, the more likely you are to die. Right? Like when the thing is on fire, you're only a few hits away from getting murdered. But your own shields also affect your survivability. And then also, vehicles the player occupy are given like a little defensive buff. So you can be in a flaming vehicle and take more hits than an AI can.
What are these? Are these drop pods?
Yeah, it looks like the elites. Yeah, dropped out of them.
We'll get over it eventually.
We should, yeah, sorry. We should go up in this tower thing too, just to like show the little.
Why not?
Because this is
tunnel links up to the bridge.
Not entirely
It's full of rats,
new.
if you know what I mean.
Well, it is new actually. So check this out. Oh, you're gonna board the ghost there.
So not only can you hijack vehicles, but the enemy can hijack yours.
Yeah.
So be careful.
So real quick.
I did see you get up there, so...
Yeah, so yeah, you can...
it's like the grav lift from the Truth and Reconciliation.
Yeah, except, you know, it's not a cutscene. Alright, let's steal this, the ghost. Sparks coming off it.
Do you
so yeah, check it out.
Again?
Actually, yeah, let's do that.
Oh, also, yeah, the AI beeped at me. You can beep the Warthog
They have horns now. It's great. It's real good. That one's fragged. So yeah, we're going up into this big old tunnel hole.
Again, these levels just keep changing. You're never doing the same thing for that much time.
So now we're in some kind of like freeway tunnel. So hey, the city has an infrastructure.
Yeah.
I've been analyzing the Covenant tactical chatter. They're surprised, confused. I don't think they expected us to be here. Not you and me. All of us. Humanity on Earth. Odd, I know, but it does help explain why they came here with such a small fleet.
Look, we're getting an explanation for something.
And it's Cortana, the plot device, giving it to us.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think they listened to our advice, reckon? Oh, wait.
Oh shit, what's that?
Oh. Damn.
Oh, it's that thing again.
Oh, look, and we're closer to the beanstalk.
Oh. So yeah, this is giving us a first taste of, like, just the ability to just skip combat encounters if you want. Oh, a new vehicle?
Ow. That turret is scary.
I wonder if we'll see any more of those. Oh shit, there we are. These are, like, ground-based Covenant troop transports.
The Covenant must be trying to regroup. Don't let them.
They can hold a ghost? You can't drive these, sadly. You can get on the turret, if you so desire, but they're not drivable.
No, they aren't drivable. You can shoot out the drivers, though.
Yeah. Hey, giving us a first taste of just running through combat encounters, you can see the actual full force of the Covenant invasion. You can see this weird car. Apparently we'll be driving these in the future.
Hey man, I'll drive one of those. That thing is cool.
And like, these are still big empty hallways, right? This is still a big empty hallway, but it's contextualized as something else. And sometimes that's all that needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's like, why is it massive and wide like this? Well, because it's a 4-lane highway.
They added little ramps, but there's a reason for that. Look, it's all torn up.
Yeah, because the road's being torn up by the invading alien force. Like, oh, why is there nowhere else to go? Because it's a freeway. You have different
tunnel.
exits. Oh, are we gonna make it? Oh, we can't make it through.
Squeeze through. Abuse
Hold
the
on.
physics.
So yeah, he jumped on that because it was there, but if it had been somewhere else...
I'll get a ghost if I can.
Nope. Well, hold on, I'll cover you. I'll use this
Nah, that one's
this
busted.
placed turret. Oh my god.
There's another ghost down here if you want to try and board it.
Oh, there's a couple.
I believe that other one's busted is all.
Oh, it is.
That's okay. So yeah, there's well, this is actually interesting. So I jumped out of the Warthog by accident there, but there were ghosts here. So say the Warthog had been blown up here because it was quite damaged.
Oh yeah.
They gave us an opportunity to acquire new transportation.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I think we have to go pass under the
So I think
thing
this
here.
one.
Oh, hey! Look what caught up with us.
Yeah.
This does not happen often. Normally you just blow through this area.
Well, we're taking our time. We're chatting.
Yeah.
We're having our titular cooperative conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't you can't board these, but you can use they're called shadows, and they have the same shade turret as Halo 1 did. They don't fire 3 projectiles anymore, but they have a kind of ramping up, just machine gun sort of thing.
It's crazy.
It's way more accurate. It's good for killing things, unlike the shade turret in Halo 1.
So yeah, it's you know, the Covenant are regrouping. They did just that because we stopped to let them. So, you know.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, we now know that the reason they didn't bring a whole fleet is because they didn't expect us. It's kind of weird. Wonder why. Well, that ending kind of snuck up on us, but thank you, as always, very much for tuning in. Be sure to do the usual YouTube thing, the subscribing and, you know, whatever. Share the video around if you know people who would like it, and see you in the next one.